Hej och välkomna till Folkets Radio som idag ska handla om Frankrike. Landet ska stå värd för olympiska spelen i sommar. Det pågår bondeprotester och det har kommit ett nytt lagförslag som enligt vissa bedömare tar landet i totalitär riktning. Först har vi med oss Véronique Piller, fransyska som bor i Stockholm sedan många år. Välkommen!
Tack.
Ja, du följer ju händelseutvecklingen i Frankrike på nära håll. Och om vi ska börja med det här lagförslaget, kan du berätta lite, vad är det för förslag och varför tycker du att det är så problematiskt?
Jo, om man ska sammanfatta det lite kort, då kan man säga att det är en lag som på sikt kan hota individens frihet att välja medicinsk behandling. För att enligt lagen då blir vissa behandlingar godkända alternativ icke godkända och det kan få allvarliga påföljder. Och då är frågan om det kommer att bli möjligt att ha en vetenskaplig debatt överhuvudtaget och hur det blir med spridning eller delning av information. Så kan man säga. Varför man tror att det kommer nu, det finns den officiella narrativ. Och det är att det finns en organisation i Frankrike som heter Myvilut som startades 2002 och de har, deras uppdrag det är att bevaka uppkomsten av
sekter då?
Sekter och hjälpa offren. Och alla kan lämna en oroanmälan, man kan gå på deras hemsida och lämna en orosanmälan och de får in ungefär 2000 fall per år. Och de säger att de har fått en otrolig ökning de senaste åren, speciellt sedan 2020. Och att de saknar juridiska verktyg för att kunna fälla folk. Det är det de säger. Och då har man satt igång en grupp som kom med ett lagförslag. Och jag läste deras rapporten, den senaste rapporten, och där pratar man mycket om cancer och man nämner folk som kanske var sjuka i just cancer och avslutat sin behandling för att börja dricka morotsjuice till exempel och har dött. Och då säger man att man måste skydda befolkningen. Sen sista stycket på deras rapport tycker jag är lite konstigt för man pratar om att man ska vara uppmärksam ifall barnen inte är vaccinerade för att det kan tyda på att föräldrarna tillhör en sekt och det kan vara fara för barnet. Så det är den rapport som lägger till grund till lagförslaget som man diskuterar. Och den inofficiella anledningen till att varför man kanske har det här lagförslaget, det är för att tysta ner debatten i Frankrike. Alltså grejen är, det finns egentligen lagar som idag som säger att du inte får utge dig för att vara en läkare. Och det finns redan lagar som dömer ifall du sätter någon annan person i direkt fara. Så då är frågan varför man behöver en lag överhuvudtaget.
Så om den här lagen då blir verklighet, vad kan det få för konsekvenser?
Jo, men då blir det så att om någon behandling anses safe and effective liksom, och att du behöver den, om jag uppmuntrar dig att göra något annat, då kan jag råka ut illa. Och det innebär att det kommer att tysta ner många. Till exempel om man tänker på en pandemi, då var den officiella storyn man skulle inte göra någonting, stanna hemma och sen ta sprutan. Medan det var andra som förespråkade, till exempel han i Marseille, han förespråkade för hydroxyklorokin och acitromycin och allt det där. Han skulle då dömas.
Förutom det här lagförslaget då, vad finns det mera just nu som pekar i totalitär riktning i Frankrike?
Ja, men det finns rätt mycket. Och jag hade tänkt utveckla lite där med utifrån 3 olika intellektuella kan man säga. Det som är lite intressant är att det är många som kommer till samma slutsats i Frankrike. Att vi går mot totalitarism trots att de har helt olika bakgrunder och står på olika plats i den politiska skalan. Och den första som är intressant, det var den italienska psykiatern Adriano Segatori som redan 2017 fastställde att Macron var psykopat. Och han gjorde det utifrån den officiella narrativa han har gift sig med sin före detta lärarinna och hade kollat på honom. Och han varnar för att en psykopat känner inga gränser och tror sig vara allsmäktig. Och då kan man tänka att Macron kallar sig själv som Jupiter, alltså Zeus. Han ser sig själv som Zeus, alltså Jupiter, det är gudarnas gud. Och han är den första president någonsin som har tagit emot andra president i Versailles, som är Ludvig den XIVs palats. Han är den första någonsin som har gjort det där. Så han tror verkligen han är ovanför lagen, ovanför alla. Sen en psykopat känner ingen empati eller ånger. Och det kan man koppla till att han pratar väldigt, väldigt nedlåtande om folk. Man har hört honom prata om folk som de tandlösa bönder. Alltså de började med La République en marsch, som blev en marsch, alltså på marsch. Liksom.
Vad är det för något?
Namnet på parti, alltså. Macron gick till val med ett helt nytt parti som heter La République en marche, alltså republiken på marsch, som sen ändrades till en marche, som är som en militärorder nästan, på marsch, det är så som det heter. Sen bytte de namn till Renaissance, som kan låta som renässans på svenska, fast det betyder också pånyttfödelse. Så det är den tanken när man lämnar historien och man går mot nya tider. Man kan se också de som sitter i regeringen, de är allt mer unga och totalt inkompetenta. De har nästan ingen utbildning.
Ja, tack så mycket. Vi ska ta in också Cécile Maichak, en kvinna som bor i Frankrike som jag har intervjuat tidigare. Very welcome, Cécile. Nice to have you on.
Thank you very much, Pierre. Thank you. Hello, Véronique.
Bonjour.
Just for the people who don't know you, just tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to engage yourself in these questions.
Okay. My background, well, I work for 20 years in project management. This is my expertise, and I am psychologist. And at the very beginning of the COVID-19, in 2020, I thought that something was going wrong because I still had activities outside with people in the street. You know, I saw people in the street. They were okay. Nobody was dying in the street and so on. And so I wasn't very scared about the COVID-19. And when I met people who were watching TV, I could see that they were getting scared and more scared, frightened, you know. And so I said, well, is that a sickness? Is COVID on TV or what? So I said, something is wrong. Something was wrong. So I started to ask doctors what they were thinking about it. And I started to make lives, you know, on the web. And they told so many things, very interesting things about this crisis. And I said, well, we should allow those doctors to meet, to be together, more people, more doctors together. And so I created the Doctathon, a live, a 24 hours live. And we received 250 doctors. They talked during 20 hours nonstop about this crisis. And they had another point of view that the one we could see on TV, we could get on TV, you see. So it was very interesting. We made a book with this live. We took all the things that those doctors said, and we made a book with this. It was edited, and then we made many different things to say that we don't agree with what is going on, and well, this is it. And today, you talked about the Article 4, yes?
Yeah, the new legislation, yeah.
Yes, the new law. I can maybe give you some examples of what is going on here in France. which allow us to say that we are in a totalitarian regime now, not 100%, but this is on the way. You see, step by step, they install this totalitarian regime, and now we are in a kind of a kingship here. When we talk about the so-called president, we say the king, or because he acts like a king. He takes decision by himself for all the country, all the people. He doesn't ask. He really crushes the laws, the constitutions, and he does what he wants. So many people here in France, even in the street now, when they talk about him, they say the king of France. One thing helped him to install this regime here in France is, of course, the COVID-19. This crisis allowed, because he said we are in war already 4 years ago. He said it on TV. Yes, TV is precious for him. So he said it on TV. We are in war, and so we were in a state of emergency. You see. And when a country is in a state of emergency, or well, here in France, this is it. All the constitutions and the laws are crushed. You know, they are. You don't have to care about those laws and constitutions, so you can take decision, even if people are not free anymore in the country. You don't care about it. You can do it because you are in a state of emergency. So we had here the health pass. We had the lockdowns. We weren't free to talk. We weren't free to, and we are not free now to talk. It seems that we are, but we are not.
No.
And they started, in fact, in 2017, with the yellow jackets.
Yeah.
Yes. They stopped them. They crushed them with so many violence. Maybe you talked about it already, but they used so much violence with shotguns, with balls, and they shot in the face. People lost their eyes or a hand, or died also. They started there with so much violence, and the police has so much equipment. This is unbelievable, and the way they act. This is unbelievable. So sometimes, even then, when we protested against the health pass, for instance, they also send the police with much violence. And one thing the police do, they shot people, and they surround people in areas where people cannot get out of there. You see, they make sure that people cannot get out of those areas, and then they sell gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tear gas. Yeah.
Yes, and so they keep people in these areas. It's not possible for them to get out of there. People vomit. People cry. And sometimes in those areas there are children, there are old people. There are people with disabilities, and they don't care about it. They do it. This is so violent, you cannot imagine. And so people, of course, now, many people are scared to protest in the street. They are really scared to do it. Because we all know, and I do, because I had an experience like that. I am afraid to protest in the street now. If someone has a disability, as I have, and it's not possible for me to run. If I can't run, if I protest and the police arrives, I can die. I know it. So that scares. There is a big censorship here in France. So it seems that you are allowed to talk, but it's not true. There is a censorship that is unbelievable. You are invisible, so they do everything to invisibilize you. For instance, do you know about the shadow banning?
Yeah.
Yes. So you think that your live can be seen on the web, but it's not true. People just don't see it. So you make a big job, you have your guests, you talk during 1 hour, 2 hours, and you send it on the web, and you think that people will see it, and they just don't see it, never. That disappears on the web. But you don't see it because you think when you go and you try to find your video or your live, you find it. But the other people don't see it, just don't see it. This is a very big censorship. We also have threats. I made an event in September 2022. Yes, a very big event. We had 1,500 people. It was about resistance. The resist. We were talking about how to resist, and it was in a private place. This was private, and we had threats of death there, public threats of death. Sorry, and they had no problem. People who say that those public threats had no problem with the justice police or nothing. They had no problem. They said they were going to put dynamite in the place, in the area, private area, and they were really threatened. Yes, those were real threats. But we did it anyway, and we had many people, and we had a very good time during 3 days. But you're supposed to have courage, a little bit to do it anyway, because those are threats, real threats. And I can talk also about, Mélodie Ferron from Où est mon cycle, Where's My Cycle?
Mm-hmm,
yes, yeah. Yes. This is a collective of women that have problem with their period cycle. Yes.
After the vaccine, yeah.
After the jab, yes. And she has threats. She had many times threats.
Death threat, yeah.
People entered her house, and she also had her bank cards blocked. She couldn't pay anything. She has people who enter her garden, her backyard, and she doesn't know who they are. She hears sometimes a fire, shout outside. She doesn't know what it is. She has many threats, really. I can talk also about a lawyer, Virginie Recchia. So listen to this. This is unbelievable. 12 men with a hood on their head entered her home, and they at 5 a.m. in the night, let's say, and they woke everybody up, including the children, 5 years old, something like that, little children. They were crying, they were afraid. They kept their hood on their head, and they took her. They said they were the police. Yes, it was the police. So they took her to jail, and she stayed there for 60 hours in custody. And now, almost 2 years later, she still doesn't know who were those men. She doesn't know their names. She never saw their face. She doesn't know who they were. And her husband didn't know where she was. Her lawyer didn't know where she was. So this is just unbelievable. That happens in France just because she talks. And there is also a problem with the caregivers, the doctors especially. When a doctor talks about, for instance, the way you can prevent COVID by taking vitamins, is not allowed to practice his medicine anymore during months or years. One doctor here, Jean-Philippe Labrèze, had this recently. So this is just what they did to caregivers. So they didn't allow them to practice their job during 20 months with no earning at all. No money. They had nothing to live. And it was so violent to do this. And the problem is that the TV never talks about it. So the people, the mass of the people don't know it. They are not conscient, they don't know about it. And we try to denounce it, to say, well, what's going on? It does not work. What is this regime? And people don't believe us because on TV, this is not what they say. And did you hear about the Pravda?
The Soviet newspaper?
Yes, Soviet newspaper, Pravda. Pravda in Russian or in Polish too means truth.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the official truth. And here the kingship also has the official truth, which is said on TV. This is what they say on TV. This is official truth. And you cannot say that you don't agree with this truth. It's so-called truth, And this is the reason why they did the Article 4. So you cannot say it anymore, that you don't believe this official truth.
Okay. So this terror and this growing totalitarian regime, how is the population? Is it divided in two groups, or is it like some common resistance against it?
We try to make common resistance. This is what I'm working on now, to make a common resistance. Because, they are smart, the kingship there. They are smart, all of them. Not good smart, but smart anyway. So they are smart. And so they don't do everything at the same moment. They do a little here, a little here, a little here. And so one group has a problem, he says it, then he stops. Because of the violence, for instance, of the police, or because he's tired, he thinks that will not change, so they stop. Then another group has a problem. So he says it, protest, and so violence, blah, 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 he stops. Another one too. And all of them never get together. And this is what I'm trying to work on. I'm not the only one. Huh? We are a few people that are trying to get people together. And this is exactly what we are working on now. But it's not only two groups of people. There are two worlds. We are not in the same worlds. When all the people who watch TV on a TV and believe what the kingship says and the TV says, they are in a world. And we are in another one because we don't see the same thing. And this is those words are more and more and more different, far from each other, you see. This is very difficult when you talk to someone who doesn't understand anything of what is happening, you have the feeling that you don't live in the same country or in the same world. It's so different, it's unbelievable. But between the different groups that are protesting, that are conscious, that something is wrong, we try to make them together, to protest together. Yes, we try to resist together now.
And how is Macron, how is he viewed in the French society? Is he popular?
I think that so-called president has never been so unpopular. That's incredible. Anywhere he goes, he has troubles. Anywhere. The problem is that they don't show it on TV. So, for instance, there was I don't know how to say, the Salon de l'Agriculture. There was an event recently with farmers. Yes, a big event recently, and there were many Protestants in this event. Yes, in a part of the event, there was many farmers. They were shouting and very mad, and they said, "No, we don't want it no more." Well, so there were a very, very big group there, but in a part of this event, and in another part upstairs of this event, there was a little place where was the King Macron. With a few people, 20 people, and all the cameras of the TV. And they were talking together quietly. Everything was normal. They were having a debate, they were talking together and everything. And at the same time, in the same place, but far from there were so many people that were mad, you see. So they don't show it on TV. And some people, even now, even with all the problems that are in France, with all those people that are getting poor and poor and poorer, they don't have money. Everything is you have to pay more and more and more for the same thing. You see, so when some people still think now that the so-called President Macron is not lucky. Mm. They say, oh, he had many problems during his mandates. Poor man. He had to assume it, you know. They don't realize that he has no problem. He creates it. He is the problem. And they don't see it. So they say, oh, poor man. And I do think that if he could, I hope he will never be allowed to do it, but if he could have a third mandate, he would do it. Mm. And I think that some people would vote for him, because they don't see anything. They don't understand what is going on.
So I wanted to also ask you about the shadow banning, because I notice, for instance, very often when I put out a video, it goes up like to maybe 3,000 views very fast, and it like stops and it goes little. So either way, they're manipulating the numbers. They make you feel like nobody's watching you anyway. Why are you doing this? But I'm also wondering, maybe nobody is seeing the video at all. They're just creating fake commentaries. So maybe you can talk a little bit about, because I think this is one of the huge challenge for us. And you know, they control this artificial, you know.
Yes, they control it. They control it, and by different ways. They have different ways to control it. A way to control it is just to delete your video. Yeah. Well, this is easy. Another one is to delete the views you had.
Yeah.
Or to say, you say maybe you already saw it, but when you try to see a video, there is a message on it that says, oh, take care, this is not serious, this is fake news. They also do it. So some people go to the video, they see it, and they say, do you really want to see it? And you have to go through it, you know, to see the video. And then sometimes some people say, well, no, I'm not going to look at it. So this is also a problem. Yesterday, I heard someone who also does videos like this. And he said that when he was making the video, this was in live, yes. And he was making the video, and he saw that he had more than 2,000 people. And when he went to see the video on the different website, I don't know, Facebook or something like that, I don't know which one, he saw 0 views on the video. So it wasn't true. When he did the video, he had he talked, you know, in the chat. He talked with the people. He knows that there were people that were looking at this video, but it disappeared. Like exactly the same way that side effects disappear too in the ANSM. You know, people declare the side effects, and death disappeared. This is also very important, the side effect of the jab COVID-19. Right. The last report they have there, you can find it now on ANSM. The last one, I will come back to the video then. I will come back to the censorship, but yeah. I would just like to talk about it a little bit. If you try to find a report about side effects on the ANSM in France, pharmacovigilance in France, you will find a report from June 2023. June, almost 1 year ago. In this report, you have 200,000 reports. And within this 200,000 report, you have 50,000 grave, very important side effects, you see. But it was in June. And somebody asked them, why there is no new report? And they said, well, this product is safe. So we said that if we do a report every year, it's okay. Because it's safe. 200,000 reports, and this is safe. And this is what they do all the time. They lie all the time. That's unbelievable. Even into the parliament, they lie all the time. Well, about the censorship and the shadow banning. So you also have people who trolls. We call them trolls. I don't know if you.
Yeah, of course, yeah, trolls.
Trolls. They are very aggressive, and the only thing they want to do is to discourage people to still look at your videos. You know, they try to make people go somewhere else, see something else.
So talk a little bit about the situation now with the COVID vaccine side effects in France. Are people getting any recognition for that?
No. Yes. Well, it depends. Public, no. Public reconnaissance.
Yeah, recognition, no.
Recognition, yes, but public, no, for sure, no. See, yes, 100 of them get a recognition by the ONIAM. Yes, 100.
100
people, yes. And the other one, no, they say, well, you cannot say that this is the so-called vaccine. You cannot. We don't know. Well, they and also they are, comment on dit maltraités?
Badly treated.
Yes, but by the doctors, even the doctors, because they tell them, well, this is psychological. You know, this is in your head. You have. It's not possible. It cannot be the jab. This is in your head. You should see a psychologist. You should take medicines to get quiet. You see, this is what they do with them. And it's so violent for them. This is unbelievable. Some people are dying. They are now dying from this jab. And people still tell them, this is in your head, something wrong there.
No.
And trolls, we were talking about trolls. This is, I'm going to tell you something. This is unbelievable, but trolls, when Marc Doyer was talking about his wife that was dying and then she died and he was talking about it, it was so sad. You cannot imagine how sad he was. And it was so sad to listen to him, heartbreaking, really, to hear it. People were writing messages, commentaries, messages. They said, you killed your wife. They said it, that he killed his wife. They said, this is not the jab. He killed his wife. Can you imagine? And they had no problem with justice. No, this is it. This is so unbelievable. Well,
so France is going to be the host of the Olympic Games this summer. How does this play into all this totalitarian development?
I would say that many people think that it will not take place. It will not happen.
Okay.
It's not possible because too many people are mad, really mad at the kingship. Everybody's so mad at them. They don't think it will work. But I'm not so sure because I told you about this big event about farmers, agriculture. I told you about this. Everybody thought that it would not happen too, because many people were mad, farmers were mad, and so we thought that it would not, that it couldn't go till the end. You see, that they will start it and then they would have to stop it because it was so. It should have been chaos, you see, but no, they just stop because they have the police and they stop everybody and they are violent. They put everybody outside and they did it. They did this event. So I'm not so sure that the Olympic Games will be stopped. I don't know. I don't know, but I know that it will be chaos. I think yes. It will be a big problem. And I'm very happy not to live in Paris. Really, really. Yes.
So one final question, I think, for both of you. I mean, we have all read books like 1984 and thought about totalitarian as something hypothetical. You read about it in the books, you see movies. But when you finally actually end up, this is the reality we are now facing. So maybe also to end in not only in a despair, how do you find some kind of inspiration to go forward?
I have one, a real one. And this is Hannah Arendt and Ariane Biron. They both say it. Yes. When you have a totalitarian regime that is getting installed, yes, they try to make it. It cannot be achieved as long as you have people that protest. As long as people protest against it, they cannot achieve it. So we have a real goal, a real purpose. And we must hang on. We must continue to do what we do, to protest, to say, no, we don't agree with that. We are human and we want to stay human. This is what we are. And so, yes, we have a role. We have a real place to take, because as long as we are there, as long as we protest, the totalitarian regime cannot be achieved.
Do you have any doubt in your mind that this is a totalitarian regime?
Oh, no doubt. Oh, no. I used to, yes, but now, no, I have no doubt. Oh, no. No, they are very, very dangerous, really dangerous. Yes. And if we don't protest, if we don't act, if we don't do something, we already are a little bit, but we will all be slaves, all of them, each of them will be a slave. Really. I believe this.
Véronique, do you want to add something to this conversation?
I'm thinking the same. I mean, for me, I've had it. I've had it. And it's just this is a no-brainer now to just say no, because what's the option? I mean, to stay in a place that's not going to be like Brave New World. I mean, there's no other way. So it's important to stand up and say no. But it's it's more and more a problem that we have so different views between people. So it makes it difficult to even, we don't share the same view on things. You don't even know if you're talking about the same place. So it makes it very difficult.
So I already kept you long. I just wanted to, before I let you go, the farmers' protests. There have been so much talk about the farmers' protests in France. What is your take on them?
Oh, half and half, I would say. Well, I think that it is, they are right to protest, but I think that they are pushed by the kingship also. So we have to be careful with that. But there are some people there that are honest and really they have big problems and they want to let it know, And so those persons, I think that they could make the link between the different problems. It is maybe the opportunities for us to make the link, but we have to be careful, because some of them are instruments of the regime. So we have to be careful with that.
You mean like a controlled opposition?
Yes, for sure, yes.
How do you see that?
Almost like everything. When you see a protest that appears like that much, you see it on TV. And when you see it on TV, they say that they are right. There is a problem.
Okay.
There is a problem. It's not...
And what do they want to achieve with this controlled opposition? What is the goal?
This is the real question. Some of us think that they want us, the government want us to make a revolution. Some of us think it. They want us to really get mad and make a revolution so they can achieve that project of a totalitarian regime. You see?
Crush the revolution.
Yes, crush everything and achieve it. Maybe, yes, it's maybe true. Sometimes we can see that the control opposition is there just to make us ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes this is the goal. So you have people who arrive and they say they are stupid. They say things racist or stupid, and so we are not. We don't seem serious anymore. You see, so sometimes it has that goal, and so the goals can be very different. But some of them think that they want us to do the revolution, to be allowed to crush us absolutely and achieve that project of totalitarian regime, maybe.
So you have to be brave, and you also have to be clever to see through these manipulations.
Yes, and to keep trust people also, because if you start to think of it, you don't trust anybody anymore. So you also have to be clever, brave, but you also have to trust people. If we don't trust people, we just can't protest anymore. You cannot do it by yourself. So you have to do it with other people, and for that you have to trust people. And now this is the difficulty we have now, to trust people. It's not easy, but I want to trust people. I still trust people. And I say, if there are people in our groups that are not that are in the control opposition, we will talk about it with them after we win. But now we need everybody. We need everybody now. So we have to trust people.
Okay, Cécile and Véronique, I would like to thank you both for being part of the program, and looking forward to talk to you again.
Thank you very much.
Bye.